Okay, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I've got that it's about 7:01, and we'll make sure that we're hitting the record button on this so that we are recording this session. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome you to this workshop that is going to be a Canvas intro. This is a great workshop. If you have never had to do anything with Canvas before, we're going to give you a pretty high-level flyover of what Canvas is and how you can navigate Canvas and find all of the resources that are out there and all the tools that are out there for building out your content online. We realize that during this COVID-19 virus emergency that we are in, that there are a lot of new faculty who have never used Canvas before because you've taught face-to-face, and now suddenly that mode of instruction has been taken away from us. And trust me, I'm at Virginia Highlands Community College, and I'm seeing and feeling all of it here at our college with our faculty and our adjuncts and our dual enrollment instructors. And so, we're all in this together. It's not just the Virginia Community Colleges, it's across the entire globe that, everyone in the instruction business is suddenly having to take things online or use some other alternate method of delivery. So let's get talking about Canvas. That's what we're here about tonight. First, this webinar is being recorded, and those recordings are going to be available at the edtech.vccs.edu/webinars site, and that link will be provided to you down in the chat so that you can click on it and save that as a bookmark or something on your web browser so you can visit it later. And this recording should be up probably in 48 hours or less. Again, my name is Ken Fairbanks. I am the Director of Learning Resources at Virginia Highlands Community College. I've been working in online learning now for probably somewhere north of 20 years. And with me tonight, our chat facilitator is Paige Durham. Sorry, Paige, I just got your name wrong. Paige Durham, she's from Germanna Community College, and she works with online learning there at Germanna. So she'll be working the chat room and facilitating and helping answer questions that come up out there. Our agenda for this evening, we're going to walk you through some basic steps in getting up and running in Canvas. First, we're going to help you create a profile that includes your picture. We're going to identify and navigate through all the global settings that are out there in the menu. We're going to identify and choose notification settings, which is a big part of what Canvas is all about. We're going to identify and make a calendar event, explain the advantages of the Studio repository and how that works. We're going to examine and explain the use of Commons, which is a sort of OER feature out there in Canvas. We're going to identify and apply uses for the Canvas help, and we'll explore the course navigation. Now, what we're not going to be able to do in the time that we have is to really drill down on the course tools and building out modules. We have a separate training where we get into that. This is really a high-level look at Canvas and how to move around and navigate around within the space and to understand what the tools are. So let's get started. Global navigation. I'm going to switch over to my computer screen and share that with you. So hold on just a moment while I make that adjustment. Okay, so now you should be seeing my computer screen. First, off the bat, how do you get to Canvas? You actually have to log into the My VCCS portal, and when you get there, you'll see Canvas and SIS, Gmail, Zoom, all the different options that you have, and then you click the Canvas tile to access Canvas. And when you first come into Canvas, you're going to be brought to the dashboard, and this is where all of the course tiles live that represent the different courses that you have access to in Canvas. So you can see that I've got a bunch of sandbox courses out here that I use for training and some other courses that I have access to. We're going to come back to the sandbox after a while and explain how the sandboxes and the dashboard all work together. Where I want to start though is in the global navigation menu. So if you look to the far left of the screen, you will see in my case, it's a blue bar, and you'll see all the different global navigation. You'll see your account, your admin, your dashboard, all those different things in that far left menu. And we call that the global menu inside of Canvas. And the first place that I really want to visit is this account tab, or this account area. If you'll click on account, or I'm going to click on account, you can do this later. We're going to stop and let you do this later. I'm going to click on account. You'll see that it comes up. It has my profile picture, and I get several options. I have notifications, profile, files, settings, shared content. And one of the first things you want to do when you get into Canvas is you want to set up your profile. So we're going to jump right into setting up the profile. Now you'll see that my profile is set up. I've got a picture. I've got this biography section filled with my contact information and a short little biography. You can decide as a faculty member how much you want to put out here. Nobody's mandating that you have to put all this information. I like it. I think it's a nice touch. If a student goes out there to look at your profile, they can see a little bit of information about you. So how do you edit this space? Well, as we move through Canvas this evening, you're going to find that the navigation is the same throughout the product. So in order to edit this space, I'm going to go all the way to the right-hand side, and you're going to see something that we call a kebab. And it's 3 dots stacked on top of each other. And I'm going to click that, and it's going to give me the option to edit my profile. And so now my profile comes up, and you can see that I've got all sorts of options. And we're going to start with the picture. Now, I know that there's some faculty out there who are saying, oh my gosh, the last thing I want to do is put up my profile picture. That's okay. I think it's a nice touch. I like to put a picture up because I think it's great for students who are online to be able to see some visual representation of their instructor. It doesn't have to be a picture. If you've got some other representation that you would prefer to use, I've seen everything from cartoon characters to pictures of people's cats. It's really up to you. Sometimes the things that people choose that aren't the photo are more telling than the photo is. So you can pick what you want that icon to be for you, but I think it is a nice touch to add it in. To edit your profile picture, when you go in, you're going to see just a placeholder for it, but you click on this pencil. When you hover over the picture, the pencil comes up, and you can click on it, and it gives you the option to upload a picture. So for the demonstration tonight, I'm actually going to change my picture. So what I want to do is I'm going to upload a picture, and I'm going to pick a picture that's out here on my computer. So I'm going to click upload, or I'm going to choose a picture. I'm going to go to my desktop. And go to Canvas training, and there I've got a profile pic that's different. So I'm going to choose that photo. It's going to bring the picture in, and then I can edit that circle and kind of get it squared up the way I want it to look, and click save. And now you can see that I've got a brand new profile picture out there in Canvas. So that's how you do your profile picture. The next thing that I want to touch on is, you can edit this biography. There's just a text box underneath here. It's not very fancy, but you can go in and type all the information that you want to share with your students out there in that biography area. Again, you can leave that blank. You don't have to put anything there if you don't want to. Then you can share some links, and I do have some links to Learning Plus, which is our QEP project on campus, and to VHCC Online Learning. So if there are certain links that are links to favorite resources that you like to share with students, you can share links. And maybe you have a personal profile page somewhere that you want to share that is maybe a profile page that your college sets up. I've seen faculty do that as well. But you've got this area down here where you can share some links. And again, that's up to you. You don't have to. That's not mandatory. You can fill out as much of this as you want. Once you're done editing this profile area, you're going to click the Save Profile button down here at the bottom. And that just saves your profile. Another area that you want to look at right as you get into Canvas, you want to go to Settings. So if you look down here at this settings link on the left-hand side, I'm going to select settings, and there are some options here as well. So you'll see that it has my full name, the display name, all of that stuff is lined out. But over here on the right-hand side is what I want you to pay attention to. You'll notice that it lists some email addresses. Your default email is your college email. So that's always your default, but you can also list an alternate email if you would like. You also have other contact information that you can enter. You can see that I've entered in my cell phone in here for text messaging. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's a better way to do text messaging or to get notifications from Canvas. And then you can also enter other information down here if you want to receive push notifications from Canvas as well. And if you want to edit these settings, you can click this edit button right down below. And that lets you edit some of the things like the pronoun over here. You really can't edit your default email because your default email will always be your college email. Once you're done with that, you can click update settings. The reason that this is important is this actually impacts your notification settings. So let me pause for just a second to talk about notifications. One of the things that I think Canvas does exceptionally well is the communication piece with students. And the heart of the communication piece for me is in the notification settings. So if you look again to the left, to this menu where we selected settings, you'll notice that there is an option for notifications. And I'm going to click on that, and it's going to bring me to this notifications page. When you come to this page, you're more than likely only going to have one column, and it's going to be for your email address. But you can add the Canvas app for instructors to your, if you have a smartphone, and you can receive to or elect to receive push notifications from Canvas. And if you do that, when you come back out here to notifications, you'll have a brand new column for push notifications. So let me explain what you're seeing here in this window. You have notification preferences for almost everything in Canvas that it sends out notifications on. And unlike other products that are out there where you don't have a lot of control over the communication that's coming from the product to you via email or push notifications to your smart device, this notifications area allows you to really customize how Canvas communicates with you. And so let's just take a look at a few of the things that are in here. And students have the same access to notification preferences that you do, which is a nice thing because students often prefer to get their notifications via their smartphone. So if they want to receive like push notifications and text messages from Canvas and from their instructor, they can receive those notifications. And all they have to do is come out here and elect to receive certain ones. So let me show you how it works. For anything in Canvas with your email address, you have 4 options. You can be notified right away, which is this check mark. You can be sent a daily summary that comes at the end of the day. You can be sent a weekly summary that comes at the end of the week, or you can elect to not receive any kind of notification on that particular item. And you can see that there's all these different things that are in the list. And if you wonder what something is, all you have to do is hover on the name, and you'll see a description of what the trigger is that triggers the notification. So for due date, any assignment due date change is going to send a notification to a student if they've elected to receive notifications on that. Now this can be a bit overwhelming, and my advice to faculty is stick to the default settings on this. I don't usually go in and recommend that faculty start changing all their notification settings. I say leave the notifications what they are as defaults and start to pay attention to the notifications that you get. And if you start seeing that you're getting a lot of email notifications coming from Canvas on a particular item, then maybe you want to come in here and adjust it. So, if my due date notification was set to notify me immediately, so I had the green check mark, I had the check mark marked green, and I realized that I'm suddenly getting pinged all the time with these notifications about due dates changing and I'm a student, then I'd probably come in here and I would adjust that to maybe only receiving a daily update on those notifications. And if that was still too much, I'd probably move over and decide, look, I really don't need to know every day what due dates were changed. Maybe I only want to hear about it once a week. Now, due dates, personally, I'd want to know right away. So I'd probably have that set to notify me immediately, because if I was going to get an extra couple days on an assignment, I'd want to know that right off the bat. So you can see how you can control this. So, you know, you can go down and explore this on your own, or you can wait until you start receiving notifications. And if you see that you're getting too many, you can come out here and adjust this. Same thing with the push notifications. If you do add the app to your phone and you get this push notification column, you'll notice that you only get two options. That's to either receive it immediately as a push notification to your phone or not at all, because that's just how that piece of technology works. So we'll leave that to you to explore when you get in there. But this is worth taking a look at and realizing that you really do control how Canvas communicates with you. So the next thing I want to hit upon is this files area. And I'm really going to only hit upon it to say that it's here, that you can add, you can use it as a file server and put folders in there. You've got folders for all the courses that you have in Canvas already. I'll be honest, most of my faculty don't do anything with this files area other than they know it's there. They don't typically upload or put a lot of things in there. As you add things to Canvas, as you're building modules, those materials are being put into files. So if you're uploading a document, it's going into the files area, and that's where it's being stored. But just know that you can come out here and access all the files. So come back. And really in this section, I think, as you're starting off with Canvas, if you can set up your profile, you can look at your notification settings and get those set up, and then look at your settings and make changes there. That really is probably the very first thing that you should be doing. So with that in mind, I've been talking for a while now. I want to give you guys a break and let you do an activity. So let's stop for a moment with my screen share, and let's go back to the PowerPoint. And what I want you to do is I want you in another window to go out in Canvas, go to your account, click on your profile, add some contact information. If you have a picture and you want to try to upload it, go ahead and do that. And then I want you to go on down to settings, maybe add one other way that Canvas can send you notifications. And then as an optional thing, I want you to maybe look at, you can add a registered service, which I didn't show that. So let me just show that really quick under settings. If you go under settings, you can add a registered service like Google Drive, Skype, or Twitter. The Google Drive one has a really nice integration. If you use Google Drive to store documents, I like having that one in there so you can add it. Even if you're not going to use it, you could add it, but that's optional and up to you if you want to do that. So let's take a couple of minutes and everyone work through activity number 1. All right, it's my trusty little timer going off there. So I hope you had an opportunity to get out there and try this out and to see how you can edit your profile, and maybe you got a chance to upload a picture or add some bio information, at least enough to see how that works so you can come back and work on it some more later. So let's go back to my screen and we will move to the next thing, which is going to be taking a look at where your courses are, where you can find those. So hold on with me for just a moment. So once you've done all the work with setting up your profile and your notifications, the next thing you're going to be interested in is actually getting to your courses. And as I mentioned before, when you first come into Canvas, the first place you're going to come to is your dashboard. So here on my dashboard is where you're going to find all of the courses that you have in Canvas. Not all of them, the courses that you're actively using. And each one gets one of these course tiles that can be customized. So first, let's talk about the tiles that are out here on the dashboard. There are a lot of options with all these different tiles. You can color code them, which becomes very important. So if you click on the three little dots, the kebab, on one of your tiles, the first thing that comes up is that you can add a nickname and you can color code it. So let's talk about those two features. Adding a nickname is very useful. So, you know, the name that shows up on a course is typically the name that's in SIS. So it's going to have some designator for the semester, and then it's going to say English 111, Composition 1, all of that. But as an instructor or a student, we may want to assign a nickname to that class. For me, it may be my Monday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. English, or it's my Monday, Wednesday, you know, history class in the afternoon. But I can add a nickname to my class. So if I wanted this to be Monday, Wednesday, English, I could type in Monday, Wednesday, English. Well, this is how our students think, especially if it's a face-to-face class. If it's an online, they could say, you know, this is my online English, which may mean more to them than all the stuff that they get in the SIS name. The great thing is this is customizable by the individual. So as a student, I can add a nickname. I'm the only one who ever sees that nickname. Other students can't see it. The instructor can't see it. Same thing for the instructor. If I want to give that class a nickname to be more descriptive for me, I can give it a nickname. Nobody else is going to see that nickname. The other thing is I can color code it. And this becomes very important because one of the features that Canvas has that students and everyone really seem to be taken with is the calendar feature. And the calendar is actually color coded by the course, and the color is driven by the color of the tile. So I can choose a color for each one of my classes, and my advice is do not change all of your courses to green because green's your favorite color. You want each one to have its own unique color so that when you look in the calendar, you see those items color coded in the calendar. I can tell you that like nursing students and allied health students, for some reason, really gravitate to this color coding. I think it's because of the rigor that are it's in those programs and how much pressure they're under. My nursing students will have an orange notebook for their nursing class with an orange highlighter, and the tile in Canvas will be orange so that the calendar items are all orange. They want to color code it so they can keep track of it all. So it's really neat that you can color code all these different course tiles and then see that carry over into the calendar. So what if you come out here and you're looking for a course and you don't see it in your dashboard? And that does happen. And you want to be able to control what's in your dashboard because in Canvas, courses don't ever get deleted. So back in the old world when we were in Blackboard, every year or so you would get a message about a course being deleted from the system, and you knew that course was going to go away. In Canvas, the courses are here technically forever, I guess. And so you may only have 4 or 5 courses in Canvas right now, but then next semester you'll have 4 or 5 more. And then the next semester, you'll have 4 or 5 more. And eventually this dashboard will become overwhelming. So one of the great features in Canvas is you can go out and in the global menu where it says courses, go to a list of all your courses and determine which ones you want to display in the dashboard. So let me show you how that works. Go to courses, and then you'll see a list. These are all the courses that are in my dashboard, but down here towards the bottom, you'll see where it says all courses. And if I click to all courses, I'm going to come to a window where if I scroll through there, you're going to see that I have access to a whole lot of courses out there in Canvas. And you'll notice that some of those courses have a gold colored star next to them. The ones with the gold star are the ones that are appearing on my dashboard. So if I have a course on my dashboard, like this English composition course, that I want to no longer have on my dashboard to try to declutter it,
I'm sorry, just a second. It looks like we've lost Ken. It's not you. I believe there's a little conductivity error there. So not to worry. We will take it and we will keep on going. So Ken was showing you how to star the courses in your section so that they would show up on your dashboard. So let's go back and take a look and see how you do that. So let me share my screen. And when Ken shows back up, I will let him take back over. So if you notice here in this image, you can see that there's one star that is not colored in that tells you that that is not on your dashboard, and one star that is colored in, which tells you that you can see it on your dashboard. You can change the color of the star to match the course color either, although I would like to do that. But I did want to let you know that that's how you see it. Now, a lot of times you will have students who ask you things like, I don't see my course, or you may not see your courses. Don't assume that they're not in Canvas somewhere. They may just have gone or moved over to the other place in Canvas, which is under the courses menu. So when you get this, if you're missing something, check here first, because it may be that something has come unstarred. All right, so now we're going to move on to the Canvas calendar. The Canvas calendar is one of my most favorite tools in Canvas, and I use it all the time. One of the things that I like to do is I like to use it to move dates on for assignments, and I create events and appointment groups. So you should be able to see my Canvas calendar at this time. So if you notice, I have many colors on here, and all of the events that have been crossed out are due dates for assignments that have passed. The other things you can see are these are special meetings. And if you notice over here on the right-hand side, you see that I have all of my classes listed, as well as I have the color. So the color here matches the color that I have chosen on my dashboard. However, if I don't want a course to be a color, or I want to change it, because now that I see that I have a color on here, and perhaps I had 2 red courses. Well, I wouldn't want 2 red courses, because then I would be confused as to which one is which. So what I could do is actually from the calendar, you have the option to change the color. So let's say I want to change this course color. If I go over to the 3 dots and I click, this gives me the option to change the color of the calendar, events, and assignments that are associated with that course. And it will also match the color that is on the dashboard. So if I wanted to pick a different color for this specific class, I could pick anything and then it would change. So now I'd like to talk about a couple other things. Now I've been having some issues today with my calendar loading. So if you notice at the top up here, I have the little spinny wheels. And for whatever reason, I think I must have a lot in my calendar. I've had issues today getting it to load, but hopefully it will work for the purpose of this webinar. So if I wanted to add something to the calendar, I could click on the plus up here at the top and hope that it works. Oh, let's try again. Yeah, the calendar has not been my friend today. All right, I think I'm going to have to. There we go. Ta-da! Woo! I didn't think it was going to show up. Wow. Now you should be able to see the event that I was getting ready to add. So let's say I wanted to add a coffee event. And I'm going to do it tomorrow. So I'm going to pick the 19th. And it's going to be from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And where is it going to be? You could put the location. You could put in a URL. And the last thing down here is which calendar did I actually want this to go with? So I'm going to pick this course, and then I'm going to click, and notice that the color changed to match the calendar color, and click submit. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see this on my calendar. If you look at the bottom, right here, you can see there is a coffee event that is now on my calendar. Whenever you have events on your calendar or assignments, you can move them by simply clicking on the item and dragging it to the date where you want it to go. So for example, if I wanted to move this class introduction to another date, I could click on it, drag it over, and notice that eventually it's going to end up on the 9th. And now this has moved. And the beautiful thing about this is if I were to do this with an assignment in a course, it would automatically have the due date change sent to the student. And they would receive a notification that said, this assignment or class introduction assignment due date has been changed to, and it would give the new due date. So if you had, for example, last week when we had our extended spring break a week, I needed to move all of the dates for assignments that I had posted for this week. So rather than have to go in and open each individual item inside of Canvas, I simply went to the Canvas calendar and moved the dates to next week so that I didn't have to actually do it. And I also know that my students received a message. So what I would like for you to do now is I would like for you to go to your Canvas calendar and create an event. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so the Canvas calendar allows you to make events. However, the calendar is built or created from you adding assignments and quizzes and other things that have due dates. It is those due dates that cause those items to show up on the calendar. So if you don't have due dates, then nothing will appear on the calendar. So it is imperative that you use the due date option in the assignment to create that calendar event. And there is also a calendar feed that you will see on your main dashboard. Okay, we've already done this event, so I'm going to move on. So now I'm going to talk about the Canvas inbox. Okay, so the next item in the global navigation is the Canvas inbox. So if I click on Canvas inbox, wait patiently. Although this is a good reason, a good thing to talk about. As many of you and our students may experience some delays when we are working online with our students and having our students submit work. So we need to learn to be very flexible and patient. because we just don't know at this point how long things are going to take to load. So, and now we have an inbox. Woohoo! So, the Canvas inbox is a way for you to communicate with students within Canvas. And I believe our host Ken is back, but I'm going to continue on and then I will let him take over from right where I stopped. So the Canvas inbox is a way for you to communicate with students. One of the things you want to know about the Canvas inbox is it looks like email, it acts like email, but it's not really email. But it does allow you to communicate directly with students in one convenient place, as well as it will keep a copy. And if students send you something, it will send it to your school EDU account. Okay, so Ken, are you ready to go? I shall continue on. All right, so if you wanted to sort your specific classes and to your inbox, you could click on all courses, and this will show you all of the inbox messages in one place. But if you only wanted to see a single course interaction in the Canvas inbox, you have the ability to pick out that template, or actually that course, and click on it, and then you're only going to see the messages that go with that specific course. So I have so many in here, I don't even know where to begin. Let's try this one. Okay, so now I can only see the messages that happen to relate to that specific class. The other options that you have are in the inbox, you can see filter by only the unread messages, the starred messages, the sent messages, the archived messages, and any submission comments. So if I click on submission comments, you can see I don't have anything to view because there are none that are left with this semester. And archived, there's also nothing there. Now let's say you have, this is one thing that I really like. Again, nothing is deleted in Canvas. If I click on all courses and then click on more courses and I scroll down to the bottom, you should see the courses that are over. Again, Canvas and I are not getting along right now, so I'm going to just not mess with that. However, you are able to view past courses as far as looking at the inbox messages that you were sent. So now I want to talk about a little bit more about the communication that you receive in your Canvas inbox and your account with your college, your .edu account. When a student sends you a message, you have the option to respond to the student in Canvas using your inbox, or you can respond to the student from the email that will be sent to your EDU account, your not Canvas inbox. When you respond, both the message that your response will also end up back in your Canvas inbox. So you do have a history of the communication, even though you didn't necessarily do it all in the Canvas inbox. If I wanted to create an email or a message from the Canvas inbox, I would click on the compose a new message at the top. Then I'm going to select the course that I want to put it in. I'm going to find the course, and actually you can sort by just simply typing in, if you know that's where you want to be, you can type that in. And then over here on the right is an image that looks like a little book with a picture. It's obviously your contact list. If I had students in this, I would see teachers and students. So I'm going to show you what it looks like with teachers and students. So now I'm going to click on this, and now you can see I have teachers, students, and student groups. So I have 3 options of who I would like to send this message to. For this case, I'm going to pick students, and now I'm going to pick all students. And then I can type in the message. And then in the body of the message, you can put all kinds of text. Just know that you cannot put images and links inside the text of an inbox message, but you can add a video, and you can actually record the video right from your webcam, or you could upload a video file and you could send that through the Canvas inbox, as well as add an attachment. And then all you'd have to do is click send. The other options at the top are compose a message, reply, reply to all, download, trash, and then you have some settings, how you choose to mark as unread, forward, or to star the message. So just a brief overview again of the inbox. It again is determined by your notification settings. Hopefully your students will turn them on. I highly suggest you make a little video at the beginning of your course, and you talk about those notifications and why your students want to have them turned on. You can sort your inbox by course, and then you can filter it. You can also choose how or who you want to send a message to based on course and the course recipient. So I'm going to give you another 2 minutes to go to your inbox and either add an assignment or an event. Oh, this says inbox. Okay, what I would like for you to do, that's a calendar event. So what I would like for you to do is add or send an inbox message, or at least go and click on it and make sure that you have know which courses you're sending to, and you know how to send it, and you can do it in a sandbox, and you can choose it to students, and you'll see some other messages. All right, hopefully you had a little time to check out your Canvas inbox. I will also tell you that one of my favorite things about the Canvas Teacher app is the inbox. I can answer students right away from my mobile device. I don't have to log in to my school email and go through all of the necessary things to get to the email. I can literally click on the app, open it, click inbox, respond, and I'm done. And the student gets a message instantly. All right, so now let's talk about Canvas Commons and Canvas Studio. All right, so if you click on Canvas Commons, you're going to see lots of stuff show up. And all of this stuff that you find is yours to take and put in your own course. So for example, there are many filters that you can use so that you don't have billions of things to look at. If you click on the filter, you can filter the results by type of item. So can it be a whole course, a module, an assignment, a quiz, a discussion, an image, a video? And then you can also filter by grade level. So for those people who are worried about students or not having enough things to do in the next few weeks, you can also see that you can have them available to you right now. So let's do a little search and see what I can find. So I'm going to pick to filter only courses. And then in the search bar, I'm going to type in music theory. So I'm looking for an entire course on music theory. Now, if you notice that there are, if I scroll up just a smidgen, you can see that there are some things at the bottom that tell you how many downloads and how many times someone has favorited, that's what the little star means, the courses in this. So if you notice, there are lots of them on here, and some have a lot of downloads and some don't. So this one right here has 783 downloads. So my guess is that would probably be pretty good. But if you notice over here, this one has even more. So I might click on this, and now I want to, check out and see what's in here. So if you notice, there are some 2 modules, 2 pages, and there are 206 quizzes. Get down. Now, if you click in the details, it gives you some more information, and there are also some version notes. So what's really nice about this is, let's say the person that uploaded this to the Canvas Commons decided to do some updating. Well, when they do that, you would receive a notification about that update, and then you could update the version that you borrowed. So now let's go back to the search. And now instead of searching for an entire course, I just want a quiz. So now I'm going to turn off the courses and leave the quizzes on and go back. And now look what I can see. Now I see quizzes related to music theory. Again, they are, you can tell by the downloads that there are 92 on this one and 108 on this one. So Ken, if you're ready to take back over, I'll be glad to hand the reins right back over. You just let me know when you're ready. David, you'll have to unmute him.
Sure, I'm ready. Hold on.
No, you're fine. I'll just keep talking. So that's one of the things that is beautiful about Canvas Commons is that it is free for you to use. You can import it when things get updated. You are you'll get a notification about a version update, and all of that is free for you to use. Okay, Ken, I'm done.
Okay, so that covers Commons, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at another another aspect of Canvas that I really like. It's one of my favorite aspects, and it's one that I'm talking about a lot here in the last few days, and that is Canvas Studio. So give me just a moment. Let me get my computer screen up. If you'll stop sharing their page, and I will take over. And Paige, are you guys seeing, are you seeing my dashboard?
We're seeing the slide for Studio.
Oh, thank you, David. Okay, now you should be seeing my dashboard.
That's
Okay,
correct.
so back to talking about Studio. So one of the popular aspects of Canvas is Canvas Studio. And I want to take a moment to kind of explain what Canvas Studio is. Think of Canvas Studio as a built-in media server on Canvas. And it provides all sorts of options for faculty to share video and to track how students are watching that video. And you can record video, you can upload video, and put it all up into Canvas and then stream it to your students all from within the platform. You don't have to go out to put things on YouTube and link them in, but you can use this Studio media server to host all the video and multimedia content that you want to use in your course. The reason this has been really popular is that it is one of about 3 different ways that I know of that you can record your own lectures inside of Canvas. And you'll notice that you can see all the different uploads that I've done into Studio for different things. Some of them are PowerPoints and some of them are other videos. But if you notice up here in the upper right-hand corner of Studio, you get the option to record. And that has really been popular with faculty. It's a really easy record feature to use. You can turn on the screen capture or webcam capture. I usually use the screen capture option because it actually provides me with both options, if you'll see here in just a moment. And I don't want to go too deep into how you use Studio, but know that this is a really neat feature. The screen capture, I'm going to move it over here to the screen just so you can kind of see it, allows you to do a screen capture from your screen, and you can capture a PowerPoint and you could record yourself doing the lecture and it would go straight into Studio, and then you could link it into your Canvas course site, all from within Canvas. And you can see right now I've got it set to screen share, but you can do the webcam, or you can do both the webcam and the screen share. But this is a really powerful feature within Canvas that typically you end up having to pay extra money for in other platforms. And just truth be known, we pay extra money for it to have it here in the VCCS, but we have the full-blown Studio for Canvas as a feature for all faculty to use. And my faculty really seem to like it. One of the features that comes along with this is that if you have a video that's already posted up here and you're interested in, which students are watching it, you can click on a video and you can go to Insights and you will see a list of all of your viewers, and you would have a list of all your students down here in the bottom, and you could click on a particular student and it would show a bar graph showing how much of the video they viewed. And the interesting aspect of this is really not to be the video police with students, though you could, but it's interesting to look at the media that you're putting up and then see how the class is viewing it. If you've got a long lecture and you're putting it out there, and let's say it's 30, 45, maybe an hour long, that is a long piece of media to ask students to watch. And I would dare say that if you put that out there and then you looked at the graph, you would see students are watching maybe the first 10, 15, maybe the ones that really hang in there last for 20 minutes. and then you would see it drop off, and you'd see that very few students were getting to the end. And what I tell faculty is if you're creating media and putting up here in studio, if it's an hour-long lecture, you need to break that down into 3 or 4 parts and make them so that the parts are only about 15 minutes long, 15, 20 minutes max. And you would see that the students were able to watch those videos and bits of multimedia a lot more effectively and a lot more thoroughly if you break it down into those kinds of pieces. But what I love is that Studio allows for you to see that. You can see how your students are engaging with your media. It also allows for students to make comments, and the comments are indexed in the video. So if, per se, let's say I watched this and I've got this video running and I pause it to add a comment. Again, I don't want this to be a full demo of Studio, but I want to kind of show it. You'll notice that it puts a little marker up here for where I made that comment. So when a student makes a comment, you can go right to the part of the video where they have the question. And I just think that is so powerful that you're able to do that through this media server. There's also captioning from within Studio, and it does have an automatic captioner that is highly accurate. They claim to be more accurate than YouTube as far as generating the caption. So it does make things easy. If you put the video into Studio, you let Studio do the captioning. Again, just a very powerful piece. I'm doing some training on my own campus just on Studio and how faculty can use it, especially during this time when they're trying to figure out how do I share the lectures that I normally share in the classroom if I want to try to get some of that material out there for my students to view. And this is one of the methods to use Canvas Studio as that delivery to get it into your Canvas course site. So that was a pretty long look at what Canvas Studio can do, but it is a very powerful tool. You can also import other videos. Canvas Studio does let you bring in and import like a YouTube video into Canvas and share those YouTube videos from within Canvas, which has some benefits because you can limit students, going down rabbit trails, watching other videos and kind of spending time off topic. By putting the video in Studio, they see it in a Studio window. There's no other videos popping up or, pulling them away from the topic that you're wanting them to look at. So let's take a look. The next thing below Studio is the help section. So look, if you're brand new to Canvas, this should be your best friend. We pay for the Cadillac version of help here in the VCCS. And when I say that, I mean, we get kind of a top tier level of help from Canvas. And let's just take a look at some of the options that you have as a faculty member. Right here at the top, you've got Search the Canvas guides. These guides, if you go out there and look, are very, very complete. If you like to have written guides that you can print out and put in your hands that take you step by step with screenshots on how to do things like, how do I weight my grades in the gradebook in Canvas? Or how do I add a multiple choice question to a test? Or how do I set the test settings on the test for one student so that that student has an extra day versus what all the other students have for a due date? You can go in and find a Canvas guide that will step you through how to set all those things up. And I can click on the guides page just to show you really quick that when you go to guides, let's see, you get several different options. You can go to guides, which is the one that I'm talking about right now. And you can go to instructor guides, and I'll just run down the list. This is the index, but you get down in here, there are guides for almost everything. Each one of these is a guide with screenshots that shows you exactly how to perform that particular action in Canvas. You also have video guides. So if you're like me, I'm a video person, and that's just the way I prefer to engage with my content, but there's also video guides available in Canvas. So there's a pretty good index of video guides so you can watch somebody else click through all the steps and show you how to do things. There are mobile guides. There's just so many resources out here to help you find an answer to a question, but that's not all that there is. And I'm not trying to be a commercial for Canvas, but I think they do this particularly well. So you've got the Search the Canvas guides. You've also got the ability, you've got a 24/7 faculty hotline that you can call toll free to Canvas. So I've used this hotline myself, and I'm a Canvas administrator on my campus. When I call them, I usually have some really crazy problem. I'm usually on with a real person within minutes, and most of the time they have an answer to my question pretty quickly. I've been real impressed with how they handle the hotline. Now, right now they may be a little overrun. I don't know how things have gone since the whole COVID-19 thing started, but I have found that the hotline, they're very responsive. So if you're working on Canvas at 3 in the morning, you can make a phone call and get an answer to a question. You can also reach out with the Canvas chat or Canvas support with a chat window. I've done that as well. And same thing, I have found that I'm immediately connected with a live person, and they usually are pretty good about turning around my problem and providing me with an answer, regardless of being day, night, whatever time I'm reaching out to them. There's also a hotline for students and a chat window for students. So students get that same level of help support. So if students have questions, they can go out here and access these as well. Same thing with the Canvas guides. There are student guides out there as well that students can access. Then you also have the Ask the Community, which is a community of Canvas users, most of which are faculty just like you. And if you don't want to reach out to Canvas with your help question, you can go out there and search the community and ask questions and get answers from faculty, from other faculty who are using Canvas as their teaching tool. And not as important maybe at this moment, but there is a submit feature idea area. So if you have a feature that you'd love to see Canvas take on, there's the ability to submit that idea directly to Canvas. And Canvas, the way they run their development is that they look at those top 2 or 3% of ideas that get submitted. The ideas can be voted up by other faculty, and once it crosses the threshold, they take that idea and they get it into development, and then it goes into beta, and then eventually it hits production. But that's what drives Canvas as far as how they innovate and the features that they make available to faculty, is that they look to that feature idea area to look to see what faculty want. Next thing on this list is a link to our VCCS resources. Let me click there really quick. If you've not taken a look at this, this is where you and students can come and get the Symantec antivirus software. Microsoft Office is a free download. There's also the Respondus lockdown browser, which I know a lot of you are interested in, and how you can use that with your tests. There's also Respondus's test creation software in here as well. So if you want to use their test creation software to create tests that you can upload into Canvas, that's a useful tool as well. And so this is out here for faculty and for students. So if you're using the lockdown browser on your test, you need to direct your students out to this area to download that lockdown browser on their computer so they can use it. So just know that that's there. And I think that's probably all I'm going to look at under this help menu. The main thing I want you to know is about these Canvas guides and about this Canvas hotline, so that if you're looking for help, no matter if it's the weekend or, like I said, 3 in the morning, you have an option to go find answers so you can keep working if that's, when you've got time to work on things. There's a lot of good help support out there built into Canvas. So let's take a moment. I know we're running a little bit past 8 o'clock, and I apologize for that. And I apologize for the technical difficulties. My computer earlier literally locked up completely. I literally couldn't even restart it. I had to do some maneuvering just to get my computer to restart. So let's take a few extra minutes. Let's look at course navigation. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And I want to take a moment to jump into one of my Sandbox courses. And when I get into a course, our courses at VHCC have a homepage that we bring people to that our faculty sets up. Not every college does it the same as we do, but we've got a little homepage that we set up with some quick links and buttons to get students to some areas without them having to search in the menu. And we also have faculty load up their contact information. And this is just a mocked up page that I did. You can see that I've just got some lorem ipsum text out there that doesn't really say anything, but just to show what that homepage looks like. that may be different at your institution. But this menu that pops up once you're in the course, this is the course navigation menu here on the left-hand side. So when a student gets into their course, they're going to see the navigation that's over here on the left. And this is how you get to everything that's in your course. Canvas is set up a little different than what we experienced with Blackboard years ago. Canvas allows us to really edit that menu as far as what's visible to students, but it doesn't allow us to edit the names of things. And I like that from a consistency standpoint, so that when I'm talking to students about their course and I say, have you gone out and looked at the syllabus? Every course has a link that says syllabus. Every course is going to have a link that says modules. And that's going to be where students go to do the work that they need to do in the course. So right off the bat, you've got your home page that you can set up for the course. There's an announcements area. I don't have any announcements, which is why you see the little eyeball is got a slash through it and it's not visible. But you can post announcements inside of Canvas. All students can see. It's the equivalent of making an announcement in front of one of your face-to-face classes. We use the syllabus tool at our institution. I know there are some colleges out there like Central Virginia Community College and some others that have opted not to use the syllabus tool, but we do use it here at this institution. And the way the syllabus tool works is that you can edit by clicking on this edit button in the upper right-hand corner. And I can either enter my syllabus information directly into this window, or I can attach a document like a PDF of my syllabus and link to it in this window. You can do either one. The interesting thing to me about the tool is not only is your syllabus here, but if you are entering in all of your assignments and giving them due dates, your assignments are going to be listed down here under this course summary area, and they're going to be listed by due date. And so I have an instructor that is a former attorney in a former life. He's in recovery and he's become a faculty member. And he really likes the fact that it's divided like this. He doesn't put an assignment list in his syllabus. He treats his syllabus as sort of a legal document that lists the policies and the attendance policy, the grading policy, all the different policies for his course. And to him, that document is a sacred document. It doesn't change. He doesn't make changes to the syllabus once the semester starts. All of his course stuff, as far as due dates and what the assignments are, he lets this course summary area take care of that information, which means that if something changes, like what we're going through right now, and he needs to shift dates around, he can shift those dates around without touching his syllabus. The syllabus stays pretty static as being a policy document for how the classes run. And the course summary has a list of all the assignments and their due dates and all of that information. So again, I don't know, again, if your individual college uses the syllabus page, but if they do, that's what it's for. The modules page is where the work gets placed for students to do. So this is where you're going to start building modules. The great thing about Canvas is you can build those modules out using any kind of pedagogy that you want to use. However you want to organize it. You can use, you can split things up by units where you're covering multiple topics in each unit. You can divide it up and have a week 1 module, a week 2 module, a week 3 module, and work through things very linearly week to week with all of your assignments and your tests and everything. It's up to you as an instructor how you want to organize your course. If I'm going to give you a piece of advice, though, I'm going to say pick a method and stick with it. One of the things that I see that sometimes mess up new faculty is they'll have a unit 1 module and then they'll have a week 3 module. And that becomes very confusing with students. Students will understand if you're going unit by unit or week by week or however you're approaching the organization of your course, but pick an approach and stick to that approach so that your course is predictable. One of the things that I think helps students move from beginning of an online course to the end of an online course is if there is a certain predictability. If they know each module is going to have a reading assignment, then maybe there's a lecture video they have to watch and then a discussion they have to participate in, followed by a weekly quiz, and then every 3 or 4 weeks there's a unit test or some sort of an exam that they have to take, and they can get into the rhythm of how that course works and just start moving through the module. I think students are more successful. I think the research sort of bears that out. If you can create some predictability as far as how your course is formatted and how each week flows into the next week, you can kind of drive students through the process and get them from beginning to end. So just know that this is the area where students come to do their work. The grades area is where the grade book is located. And as you create your assignments and place them into the modules, automatically there'll be columns created for each assignment that you go to. Back up. The next thing that we have, next thing I'm showing is BrainFuse tutoring. We always put that at the bottom of the list that students see. So that's a link directly to our BrainFuse tutoring here at VHCC, which we use for our online tutoring for our online students. That's another service that currently I think is going to become overrun because all of our students are going to be using BrainFuse here during this COVID-19 time period. So now you're going to notice that I've got a bunch of items down here that have these little eyeballs with the slash through them, which means they're not visible to students. So let me show you something, a real important tool to take a look at. When you go to the home page for a course, if you're an instructor, one of the options that you get on that home page is that you can view the course as a student. And so if I go to student view and view the course as a student, look what happens to that course menu. You'll notice that there are only a few options. They can see the home, they would see announcements if I had announcements in there. They see the syllabus, they see the modules, they see grades. That's it. There's a reason for that. We don't want to overload students with a whole lot of choices in that menu. We want them to understand the home page is where they go for that homepage information that we have out there. The syllabus is where the syllabus and their list of assignments by date is going to be located. Modules is where they're going to go do the work, and grades is where they're going to go see how they're progressing in the course, and then the BrainFuse tutoring. So I think that it's a good practice, and it's one that we set up here at VHCC, that we only initially default to these areas inside of a course for students to be able to see. And so while I'm in the student view, you can go into your course in student view. You can navigate through the course. You can even take quizzes and do assignments of students to see how they work. I highly recommend that as well. This is a great feature. When you're done, you can just leave student view by clicking down here at the bottom, and it'll take you back out, back into your instructor view. But you can easily toggle in and out to see the course as students see it. Now you have access, even though these places aren't visible to students, you still have access to them. So if you want to see a list of all the students in your class, you can click on people and it will pull up a roster, and there'll be a roster of all your students along with their information. It shows their last date of activity, total activity in the space. You can go to pages. This is where all the pages are that you've created. It shows the home page initially, but if you want to view all the pages, there's a button here in the top left that you can click on, and it'll bring up a list of all the different pages you've created in your course. Same thing with files here again. This is showing all the files in this course. Assignments is where you can go to see all of your assignments and the assignments, while they're listed here, should be linked in the modules. Remember that modules is where you're going to organize your course. These are just listings of your assignments, your pages, your quizzes. It's useful for you, but for a student, these pages wouldn't have any context. Modules is where we give all of this context. We can create a module that may have 2 or 3 assignments in it, a quiz in it, a discussion board in it, that all pertains to the subject matter of that module. So module is where the organization happens. It's where students do the work. This is where the individual items live. and it's another way for you to access them. So if you want to go out and see all the assignments for your course that you've created, you could come to this assignments window and just see them all in one window. Same thing with the quizzes. If you click on quizzes, it will show all of the quizzes. You cannot change the name. I've had a lot of faculty ask, can I change that quiz's name? I don't like that. No, Canvas calls them quizzes. Now they can be exams, they can be unit tests, they can be whatever you want them to be, but the area is called quizzes and you can't change that name. Discussion boards is where all the discussion boards would be listed. So if you've got discussion boards in your course, know that this is where you'll find those. Then there's also this collaboration area. This is an area that I don't particularly use a whole lot, but there are some collaboration tools that are available. I don't get into the conferences outcomes. I think that's a little bit of an advanced topic given the situation that we're in and the faculty that we're working with. If you've got questions about those, I would say contact your instructional designer there on your campus and they can get you up to speed. The last thing down here is settings. These are the settings for your course. And so if I pull that up, you can see that I've got my image for my course. The name of the course is out here. You can just kind of scroll down and see all the settings. There are some interesting settings down here at the bottom that I think are worth reviewing under more options. It gives you the ability to show recent announcements at the top of your homepage and control the number. So currently mine's set to 3, but you could set that number lower or higher. And that's how many announcements would show at the top of your homepage. And then you can select whether you want to let students attach files to discussions, whether or not students can create their own discussion topics, whether they can edit or delete their own discussion posts. You can toggle those features on and off from this options area. So this is worth taking a look at. Hiding the totals in the student's grade summary. The hide the grade distribution graphs, I think defaults to being off. That one's worth leaving off if you ask me. That tends to cause some unwanted discussion in your classes. But do take a look at this. This is an area in settings that I think is worth spending a little bit of time on. Another area here under settings that is interesting to look at is the navigation area. And this is where you determine what's visible to students and what's not. So if you look at my navigation area, up here in this top section, you see that all there is home, announcements, syllabus, modules, grades, and BrainFuse. That's what students see. Down below here are all these different things. These are what I can see or what I can access. And so if for some reason you wanted to move discussions up where students could see it, and you can make an argument for this one, you could pull that up and place it up here where students could see it and access their discussion boards directly. Once you make a change like that, you have to come down to the bottom and click Save. I'm going to move that back down. And I'll just come down here and click Save. And it'll save that for me. I'm not going to get into the other feature options and apps out here. Really, I think if you're just starting out in Canvas, take a look at the course details and those extra options at the bottom. Take a look at your course navigation, see if there's anything you want to adjust there. But please keep in mind, you want to keep this menu for the students as simple as possible.
Hi, this is Sherry Prufus. I'm just jumping in. This gives you a sense of how many features we have in Canvas. There are webinars this week and next week, and then in April, we'll start handling the details of it. This week and next week, we are doing overviews. But please check out on your own college campuses. Your instructional technologists on your college campuses are also doing a lot of webinars, and they are doing details inside of the grade books and assignments. Let me ask Ken before we close if he had any last words to share with us.
I do not. I will share just real quick this screen with everyone. There is a survey out there that you can take, and I think that'll be in the chat window. And we just want to say thank you. And remember the edtechvccs.edu site. If you're looking for the recordings and from these sessions, that's where you can go to find them.